welcome to the Frugal Granny channel. My name's Ali and I'm Frugal Granny. I'm a 65-year-old semi-retiree trying to do the best with what I've got until I get my state pension in July 2027. Today it's Thursday, and on Thursday we usually have a coffee and catch up in which I talk about the financial challenges I've met during the week and how I've overcome them. If you're new, it's lovely to see you, and I do hope you'll stick around. Please think about subscribing. We've had quite a lot of new subscribers this week, and it's been lovely to meet you. If you're a regular viewer, it's great to have you back, and this week I actually did manage to answer your comments personally on my bonus video that I put out yesterday, which was all about intentional yellow label shopping. This morning I'm in my kitchen. My middle son is here with me on his way back to London, and in the background I'm afraid the washing machine is going. So if it's not pug snores, it's washing machines in this house. But I'm just going to talk to you briefly while I sort out the sandwiches for him. I don't believe this has just happened. I've been talking to you for 15 minutes without play pressed down, but essentially I was making some bread rolls, filled rolls for my son, who's here at the moment and is off to London later today. So if I'm a bit late with this video, it's because I've had a long sit and a coffee and a chat with him this morning. Anyway, let me just try and recap what I said. I cannot believe that I filmed all that. Well, I thought I'd filmed all that and it's gone. But anyway, this week, what's happened this week? I was hoping to talk to you today about the 0% credit card because the first statement is due today, and I've looked online and it's not there. I've looked 3 times actually, and it may be that it won't appear until end of business day today, but we'll have a look. I have decided, and I think I mentioned before, that I was thinking of paying the minimum payment off with part of the interest on the fixed rate ISA I had that matured on the 6th of January. But what with the weather and everything, I've not been able to get into town. And so I've decided, or rather maybe the decision has been made for me, that I'm going to leave that interest where it is, because once you've taken interest or any capital out of an ISA, the tax-free potential on any interest that amount of money would gain is lost. So basically I'm going to leave that money in the ISA. It's rolled over into a new fixed term ISA, and I'm going to pay off the fridge freezer as best as I can through my supermarket income and through anything that comes in from YouTube. I've been online to try and find out if it's 5% or 10%. I mean, if it's 10%, then the first payment will be $63.90. If it's 5%, then it will be about 37. I can't divide that number by 2, it's too much. 64 divided, it's about 37, isn't it? And I mean, either are going to be manageable, and if necessary I'll borrow some money from my buffer fund, and it just means that it'll take me a little bit longer to get my buffer fund buffer up to the £1,500 target that I've set myself. But one way or another it'll be all right, and I'll probably be able to update you about all of that by next Thursday. So the other thing that's happened this week is my first annuity come in. That's gone straight into my buffer fund. For any of you who are new and don't know about my buffer fund, I'll put a link up there. Yes, so the 0% credit card, the annuity, what else has happened? Oh yeah, I was going to update you about the Jo Grundy print and about me wanting to refresh my back room by changing the art and possibly getting a couple of new scatter cushions. We'll see. The scatter cushions are optional and will depend very much on the colour of the art, so they will be something a little bit way down the line. But anyway, I have decided not to go for the Jo Grundy print because it is going to cost me over £100, even if I do all the wheeling and dealing and vouchering possible. I need one that's 1 metre squared, and that's pretty large. So what I have actually done now is I've commissioned a watercolour from one of my artistic older kids, and that will come in due course. And what I have asked for is a print that picks the motifs off my Norwegian china plate. So there'll be the hare, foxes, that's a ptarmigan, and some more foxes there, and then there's ling and cloudberries, some vetch, some what are those, juniper berries, cotton grass, rowan berries. I think it's going to be very nice, and I'm sure they'll make that into a lovely, I think I've asked for either an A1 or an A2. I've decided to keep the frame that's above the wood stove because the frame I want from IKEA is on last chance to buy, and it's not in stock in my local IKEA, and I'm certainly not driving to another town or city to go hunting for one of those. I might be able to order one. I'm hoping to go to IKEA tomorrow because the prints above the, well, they're actually watercolours that are above my sofa at the moment. I've taken those down now, and I've decided not to order any Jo Grundy prints for there either. What I have done is I've found online a website that sells Jo Grundy calendars, and I've ordered a calendar for last year because it was reduced from £6.99 down to £4.19 or something. Oh, it was £4, and then I got a 10% welcome code for that particular website. So I think it came in at £4.19 plus £2.99 postage and packing. So for about £7, I am going to get 12 Jo Grundy prints that I can tear out of this calendar, trim with the paper guillotine that my youngest son left behind, and then I can put those in frames above the sofa. Now the frames will cost more than the actual printed pages. So I'm going to IKEA tomorrow to see if I can get 3 more frames that match the frames of the insect prints that I've got above the sofa in the front room. Those prints were done by my youngest son ages ago. So yeah, so I'd like them to match those frames, and it's the big frame in that series that's on last chance to buy. So but I think if I keep the frame I've currently got over the wood stove and paint that white, it should be okay. We'll just see what happens there. Yeah, so 3 frames plus the calendar is going to cost me way less than one big print for above the wood stove. And the one I've commissioned for over the wood stove will it'll come when it arrives, and that's that. The good thing about getting that calendar is that I'm going to get 12 prints, and I could actually arrange them into seasons, and if I feel seasonal I could swap them out as the seasons go by. So what I'm intending to do is put 3 prints, or is it 4 prints, into each frame, and then I can just bring the relevant one to the front as the seasons change if I feel like it. So hopefully on Magazine Monday I'll be able to show you the calendar. It should arrive by the end of tomorrow according to my Royal Mail notification. And if I can get the frames tomorrow, that will be fantastic. And then I can show you all that on Monday. So there's not really been anything terribly interesting or dramatic happening on the financial front this week. A little bit fed up that I haven't got the statement for my 0% credit card yet, but it'll be here. I'll be able to tell you all about that next week. Yeah. And hopefully next week I should be able to tell you about my YouTube income for December. I'm really quite pleased about that. Hopefully it will be paid sometime next week and I can sort that out. The allocation is going to be incredibly boring, so there's nothing really terribly exciting to look forward to in that respect. It's going to be quite mundane and boring, but it'll be great to have it, and I'm incredibly grateful. So thank you to all of you who watch my channel and who persist with 30 seconds of the adverts, and thank you for all those as well who've been hyping. I noticed that the making my home my own video got to 66 in the hype table for the UK, so thank you very much for doing that. It's fantastic that that's happened. It's quite amazing. So yeah, I'm just going to put these sandwiches in their bags and I can talk to you a little bit while that's happening. I'm so cross I've lost all that footage. We had a lovely chat while I was filling these bread rolls, and when I've lost the whole lot. Okay, so I've got my plastic bags here. I did put them all in individual bags last time you came through. I'm going to put them in two in a bag this time. I think it's a little bit easier. If he doesn't want them all, I will keep two for myself. There's two there. And he's ever so good. He saves the plastic bags for me and he brings them back, which is great. Obviously got him well trained. So that's two. Don't fall in the sink. No, don't fall in the sink. So I got these bread rolls during my last shift. They were $1.56 with staff discount. No, $1.46 with staff discount. And I left them behind, so I've had to go back to the store this morning to pick them up, and thank goodness they were still where I'd left them. Right, so that's the bread rolls. Just going to put those on the kitchen table and he can take as many as he likes. And yeah, just another thing that I did mention in the footage that I lost is I've got this yellow label spinach, and when I got it out of the fridge last night, or yesterday, it was incredibly wet, and wet spinach, as you can see, does tend to go soggy very quickly. So I decided to do a little experiment, and I spread it out on a tea towel on the kitchen table and I let it dry, and then I flipped the leaves over and let them dry on the other side, and then I've put them in a bag and put them back in the fridge, and it's actually salvaged quite a lot of them. I think the whole lot probably would have had to go in the bin if I hadn't done that, but I've got another day or so out of that now, so I need to think of something to do with spinach. Maybe a chickpea, spinach and potato curry is on the cards. That is a good idea. It will also help use up some of my tins that I really need to use and rotate this year. It's a little bit late for lunch, but I'm going to use some leftovers. And I'm just going to make myself a quick hash out of some beans, some black pudding and some sausages that were left from an all-day breakfast I made myself the other day. You can see the all-day breakfast picture on my Instagram. I'll pop a little picture within a picture there for you. This is black pudding. It's effectively blood sausage, and it's got barley in it as well. The little white bits you can see are barley. When I was a kid, black pudding used to have rather large chunks of white fat in it, which you don't tend to see anymore. There may be some pork fat cut up in this, but it's not like the large chunks you used to get. I really do like black pudding. This is cooked. It was cooked yesterday, or was it the day before? But anyway, it's been in the fridge. So I'm just going to pop that in there. I'm going to add the leftover baked beans. Would be nice to have some fried potatoes, but I'm not going to do that today. I haven't got any potatoes to fry. Actually, I've got some potato croquettes I could put in the air fryer. I might just do that actually. I think I'm going to put one sausage in here chopped up. These are the infamous Richmond sausages I was talking about the other day. I do like Richmond sausages. Actually, I have another half, and I'm going to save those two for Bella's tea, or she can have half a tea, and I can just chop it up and sprinkle it on top of her regular dog food. She does like that. She likes Richmond sausages too. I'm not sure it's terribly good for her, but it's just a little bit. But I'm just going to let that heat through while I go and put the potato croquettes in the air fryer. Right, so I've got some Yellow Label potato croquettes there. Let's just hope they're still okay. I've had these for a while. I think they'll be all right. So what does it say? 15 minutes. 15 minutes at 180. Oh, look at that. That's all set ready. Let's just do that then. Okay, I'll come back in 15 minutes. So there's my black pudding and sausage hash with potato croquettes. Started, wouldn't it? Right, so I've had my black pudding and sausage and baked bean hash. It was very nice, and I've sat and talked to my middle son while he had the lunch that he cooked for himself, and then I've taken him down to the train station and he's back off to his life, and I wended my way back through the rush hour traffic to my life, and here I am. I'm sorry that there's not been any massive pearls of financial wisdom today, but I think the one take-home lesson from my vlog today is not to rush into big purchases. And this is a rule I do tend to set myself, you know, when I'm thinking about things like the Jo Grundy print. That would have been my immediate go-to, really. But if I'm going to make a big purchase like that, I do like to leave it a good few days, at least 3 days, to let that sort of rush of enthusiasm calm down and for common sense to prevail. And I'm glad I did, because I think the solution I've come to with commissioning a painting, a watercolour, well, it'd be multimedia actually, from one of my adult kids, and finding the calendar and being able to cobble that together into 3 prints that in actual fact will be interchangeable as the seasons go by is a lot better solution, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, so that really would be my big take-home message, is if you're thinking about making a big purchase, don't rush into it really, because there are other options. And if I'd already ordered the print and then I'd thought about these other things, I'd have been really upset with myself actually. And it's nothing worse than trying to return things sometimes that you've bought online. It's not terribly easy. And I think, you know, this holds for my purchase of the fridge freezer too. I've been on and off with it, not just for 3 days or 3 months, but probably for 3 years. And I'm glad I waited, because I think the timing of getting it and the removal of the kitchen cabinet is all very timely. It's hard to explain, but I don't think it would have been so significant for my own sort of personal journey. It really has triggered a whole appraisal of the stuff that I've got in my house and how I want to live my life going forward. Anyway, so a little bit of a shorter one from me today, and I'll be back again on Saturday. And what I've decided to do on Saturday is set myself a theoretical challenge. I'm not going to do this practically, but it's a theoretical challenge to see if I can feed myself for the £45 that I assign to myself for consumables every week. And I've been doing a little bit of work on that today as well, and I think we could be in for a little bit of an interesting time on Saturday. So you've got that to look forward to, and then goodness knows what Magazine Monday is going to bring. We've still got the whole weekend ahead of us, but hopefully I can show you that calendar and the prints from that calendar in their frames, and hopefully on the wall by Monday. That would be absolutely fantastic. But anyway, you have a lovely end to the week, and I will see you on Saturday. And I'm going to see now if I can catch a few clips of Bella for you. She's on the sofa next to me eating a dental chew. Anyway, so thank you very much, and I'll see you again on Saturday. Bye bye for now, and thank you for watching. Bells, bell bells.